Tamara Hill here. Just wanted to talk to you guys really briefly. Since I had a little bit of time following my session, I wanted to talk to you guys really briefly about triangulation and pathological lying. And this is something that I've gotten a lot of feedback from this past week. I've had a lot of clients come to me and ask me, like, what do we do with our son who is constantly lying? What do we do with our daughter who is lying? And she's drinking, and she's saying that she's not drinking when she really is. And it isn't a matter of lying because the person wants to get out of trouble. It's a matter of lying for power and control, or just because of some internal need to have some kind of control or power. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today, just to get your view and to give you the opportunity to ask me questions, and also to learn about a concept known as triangulation. So I will be covering the topic of pathological lying this week, and then I'm also going to be covering the topic of triangulation. So I want to give you those two concepts this video, and you will find a written blog post on this as well in the coming weeks. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the first concept, which is triangulation. Triangulation involves three people. It can also involve 4 or 5 people, but for the most part, it's 3 people. And here's what happens. And I'm going to draw this out for you actually, because this is the way that I explain it to my clients. And so let me draw this out for you. This is one of the things that you're also going to get from me when it comes to videos as well. You're going to get me talking to you about subjects, and then I'm also going to use demonstrations because those are the things that I find helps my clients kind of incorporate the information into their lives and cement it into their brains. So we're going to be doing a lot of that. So let me go ahead and draw the triangle, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on here. So we have person A, then we have person B, and then we also have person, if I can spell person. Person is definitely not spelled P-E-R-C-O-N, is it? So let me make sure that I spell it right. So person A, B, and C. Okay, so here's the triangle. Okay, this is what it looks like. All right, so we have, and it's probably not going to show up too good on this video for you, but this is what we have. We have person A, we have person B, and we also have person C. And here's what happens with a triangle. If an individual is struggling with being honest, or they are struggling with a situation that is embarrassing to them, here's what they'll do. They'll go to person A will go to person B. And person B might be a colleague, it might be a parent, it might be a spouse. Person B might also be a sibling or a caretaker. Somebody that person A feels is a sounding board, a support system, or somebody with a very strong opinion. So person A will go to person B. Person B might actually feel emotionally and cognitively or psychologically overwhelmed by the information they received from person A, that they go to person C. And person C might be, somebody that they trust and somebody that they confide in. So what happens with this particular triangle, and I'm going to bring it a little bit closer, you have person A who goes to person B, and then person B goes to person C, and it creates this triangle. And this particular triangle is what causes a lot of heartache in the lives of individuals who lie pathologically, or in the lives of individuals with personality disorders such as borderline personality disorder, narcissism, or even sociopathy. So triangulation is the concept that one particular person has an issue and they take it to person B, who then takes it to person C. Person C may go back to person A, or person C may create so much chaos with the information that they have obtained that everything explodes. And before you know anything, information is out, private information is out, arguments have been created, emotional chaos has erupted. So when a person triangulates, they can either do it intentionally or they can do it unintentionally. It just depends on what's going on and who the person is. Some people unintentionally triangulate because they want to talk to somebody else and kind of get, like a point of view. They want to get some moral support. They want to get, some wisdom from the other person. So some people triangulate unintentionally in that way. Other people, however, triangulate intentionally, and they do it to create chaos or to keep the attention off of them or to kind of distract. So as you'll see in the article that I'll be writing in the coming week, triangulation can really create a problem. It can also be emotionally draining and psychologically draining for people who aren't expecting an explosion. And also for people, too, who do not recognize or understand what triangulation is. So I will be talking about this concept a little bit more this week in a blog. So, all right, so let's go ahead and talk about pathological lying. So pathological lying basically is the concept that the individual lies, sometimes chronically and repeatedly. It's not typical lying to try to get out of anything. It's basically lying, sometimes for a purpose and sometimes not for a purpose. It's kind of like a pattern. It's an automatic response to certain situations. It's an automatic behavior that can almost appear to be like an addiction. The person just lies because they have always lied, or they're lying because that's the easiest thing to do. So I think it's important to understand that pathological lying doesn't always have a meaning, it doesn't always have a purpose, and it doesn't always make sense. So I'm going to post a link to this topic of pathological lying. I wrote a blog that literally brought back millions of people who left comments on the blog. They forwarded millions of times, and then they've also emailed me personally about it. So I'm going to leave a link in the article about triangulation to my blog post on pathological lying. I believe I wrote the blog in 2014 or 15. And it has still been getting attention, and it's 2017. Well, actually 2018. Sorry about that. So you're going to be surprised to see some of the comments that are left on that blog, and I think you're going to appreciate the various stories and the various complaints and the issues that people share with me on that blog. So you're going to get that in the article coming up on triangulation. But I think one of the most important things to remember about pathological lying is that it's a behavior that is not easy to be extinguished. So we can't get rid of the behavior necessarily. We also don't know exactly why it happens. And figuring out how to explore it in therapy can also be a challenge, because anything that individual says can be a lie. So you can't really trust them. You can't really do therapy with them because you don't know what's truth and what's not truth. The person really does have to be willing to change. They also must be willing to explore what they have done and continue to do all the time. And sometimes it's hard tracing where the lie started and where it ended. So it's going to take a lot of therapy for this person, and this person may or may not ever change or get better. So treating pathological liars is really complicated and very, very intimidating for some therapists. So it takes a lot of experience. So if you have questions about this topic, I encourage you to leave me a comment in the box below. Leave me a question as well. Or you can go to my website, anchoredinKnowledge.com, which you're already on if you're watching this video. You can go to the very front page, navigate to the front page, go down to the bottom, and you're going to find an audio message button, whatever you call that thing, and send me an audio message. It really is like leaving me a voicemail. And I usually get back to everybody who leaves me messages. So if you have questions about this topic, or you want to know what kind of therapy to pursue, or what to look out for, or how to cope or deal with it, leave me an audio message or leave me a comment in the box below, and then we'll go ahead and talk about this. I think one of the motivating factors, I'm so sorry, I'm stuttering a lot this video. I've had a very hard week, so I apologize. But I think one of the most important things about this audio and video blog. And I think one of the motivators for me is that blogging really does open up the door for us to have a conversation. It gives you a visual, so you can kind of see me, you can kind of hear me, and you can also see my crazy illustrations. Because I think sometimes visually it sinks in better than it does audibly. So that's one of my motivators for creating this audio blog, and I really do hope that you enjoy it. If there's a topic that you want me to discuss, feel free to let me know, and I will be happy to consider talking about that topic. I had a parent the other day say, you know what, Tamara, can you talk a little bit about psychosis and postpartum psychosis? And I'm like, I'm not really that experienced with that, but I can talk about it. So you might find an audio or a video blog coming up with that information in it, so stay tuned. In the meantime, again, leave me a comment below, an audio message below, or you can go to my Twitter page and tweet me. You will get me faster that way, believe me. So, all right, guys. So I wish you all the best, and thank you so much for coming to my blog to view this video. And I look forward to doing blogs like this in the future. All right, guys. I wish you well.